Hey guys, Shane Simmons here, and if you watched our history segment earlier this week, you heard about the Fraterville mine disaster. So I wanted to share a video I did from a couple of years ago from the Longfield cemetery where many of those miners are buried from that tragedy. And for a real quick recap of the Fraterville mine disaster, it happened on May 19th, 1902, and 216 coal miners lost their lives. And it left many, many women widowed and numerous children without their father. So I went and visited this cemetery, took a little video of it. There was, as bad as all these tragedies are, it's even worse that these men in this incident did not lose their lives immediately. A lot of them didn't. A lot of them died due to a lack of oxygen. And while their life was expiring, many of them wrote some letters, including a man named Pal Harmon who wrote, "To my boys, never work in coal mines. Henry and you, Condi, be good boys and stay with your mother and live for Jesus." And sadly, Condi felt like he had to quit school and go work in the mines to support his mother, his widowed mother, and brothers and sisters. So he left the school system, goes into the mines, and horrifically, tragically, he dies in 1911. He was at the age of 24 in the Cross Mountain mine disaster, and unfortunately, he passed away like I said, he was 24 years old, never married, and that family experienced that kind of tragedy twice, which was absolutely mind-bogglingly horrific. But so I wanted to show this video to just show the reality of that type of tragedy and how many families and people were affected, and that this is a very real event that happened. And even though it was well over 100 years ago, it still lingers even to today, the impact of that. There was a marker that was put up for Condi Harmon that kind of paid tribute to him, in that after his death, it inspired the next generations of Harmons to go to school and go on to college so that they would not have to work in the coal mines, the always dangerous coal mine industry. So without further ado, here's the video of the Longfield Cemetery. Thanks.
Hey guys, it's Shane Simmons on a dreary, rainy day just outside of Rocky Top, Tennessee, and it's probably appropriate since I'm in a cemetery. I'm right here near some graves of men who perished in the Fraterville mine disaster in 1902. You can usually tell by for example, here's James Bennett. He died on May 19th, 1902, which is when that disaster happened. And here's Conda Adkins, died May 19th, 1902. So a lot of men died, and that 216 in all. And many, many, many of them are buried here in this cemetery. There's Charlie Woods. So many passed away. It's one of those many tragedies of the coal mining industry. And hopefully they found their peace here in the cemetery. Very sobering to me to come and see this kind of thing. It just shows you the difficult history of coal mining. It brought a lot of things and took a lot of things to our area. Here's unfortunately a shattered headstone. Thomas Lewis died May 19th, 1902. Sad, sobering. They have the Coal Creek Museum, Mine Museum down here in Rocky Top, which is a good place to stop and catch up on the history of this. It was a terrible tragedy back in the early days of mining, when people didn't understand all the dangers with methane gas, that type of thing. There was several explosions, and unfortunately with that, a lot of loss of life. But they may be gone, but they are not forgotten. The sacrifices they made for our country are to be respected. Looks like they still use this one, this cemetery. At least occasionally. I'll walk up here where there's a sign. Tells a little bit about that mine disaster. just happened to run onto this as I was driving up to the North Dam. Kind of inconspicuous off the side of the road, just a little bit off I-75. It's the Longfield Cemetery. So it says resting place of 36 of the over 200 men and boys who lost their lives in the Fraterville mine disaster. Farewell messages written by Jacob Val and Powell Harmon before they suffocated were printed in newspapers around the world. Increased public awareness about the dangers of coal mining resulted in new safety regulations, mining methods, and rescue techniques which make mining safer today. Looks like Jacob Val and Powell Harmon are both buried here. See if I can find where they're located. The sad one with Jacob was he died with his son, Harvey Albert Val. They passed away on the same day. We'll walk back down there and see if I can't find it. Get on the road. And here's the gravesite for Jacob Val, born July 14th, 1866, and passed away on May 19th, 1902. He, of course, wrote the famous letter that you see very frequently. And buried along with him is Harvey Albert Val, born November 25th, 1887, passed away May 19th, 1902. Amazing. So young, so incredibly young to be in the mining business. To think you'd perish. Doing this sweeping. Appreciate you guys watching.